And so thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
No worries. And just tell us a little bit about who you are.
So I'm from Nottingham, a professional boxer. I've had I had 6. I'm about to have 6 on the 22nd of March. It was my 6th one. I've had 3 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, and yeah, trying to make it.
How old are you?
21.
21.
Yeah.
So you're quite infant in boxing then, would you say?
Yeah, young. So most people you don't really see turn over to like kind of mid-20s really. But I always had the goal that I wanted to turn pro at 20, and I did. No, sorry, I turned pro at 19. I had my debut at 20, so I've done that. So,
And whereabouts in Notts from?
I'm from originally I was an estate just next to Top Valley, and now I'm from Hucknall.
Hucknall, cool. And so what was young life like for young Spencer? Well, I say young Spencer, young anyway, but I mean like what was young life like? For
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah,
it was good. Everyone expects a boxer to have, a rough and tough background, and unfortunately, that's not the story we're going to tell you.
Oh, so there's no fighting in the streets, and then you found out that you was good at it. No,
no. I mean, I've got 2 older brothers and an older sister. I'm the youngest, so that's probably why I'm a boxer. But no, it was good. I've got a good family, and my dad used to box as well. So
did he?
Yeah.
Did he box? What level did your dad?
It was just amateur boxer, but yeah, he used to take me to the gyms. From a kid, I think my mum's got videos of me like as a right little kid, like putting gloves on and hitting my dad. But yeah, no, he used to take me to the gym from probably like 8, 9, 10. So that's always been a big part of it.
So is that where it started then? Is that where boxing started?
100%. So yeah, he used to take me to the gyms and stuff, and then I probably got a little bit lazy, and then
I mean, he was 8.
I was 8.
Yeah,
what kid didn't want to play on the PlayStation?
Yeah, I was about to say, I think I was playing Harry Potter back in the day, 8.
And then my dad took me on a park run. I must have been about 10 or 11. I think I was 11. Took me on a park run, and I've still got the photos of it now. I was like bright red, little fat kid with a comb over. Couldn't even do it. I think my mum's dragging me around, and then I was like, my mum and dad was like, yeah, he needs to do some fitness. Got me in the boxing gym, back in there again. And then since then, I've never looked back. I've been in the boxing gym ever since. Never done more than a week off training.
Really?
Yeah.
So literally from 10, the park run made you change your mind to I'm gonna go.
Just become obsessed with it ever since then.
And then so the first gym when you was what gym did you start at? Like what?
So my dad used to so when my dad used to box, it was what was it called? Scott's. Hit the bags a bit, and I think my mum and dad must have just seen that I was really enjoying this. I reckon you can do a bit. So my dad took me to his old boxing coach who used to run Scott's Grey at Strelly, and then I applied for them, which was good. And I think I just needed to progress a little bit on. No disrespect to Oz, my old coach, because he's a good guy. And I went to Phoenix, and I didn't really get on there too well. I had 5 fights from him. I lost all 5.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't get on there at all. And then I had the rest of my amateur fights at Benny's ABC, which was, I think, 10 or 15 or something like that. I think I had 15 for Benny's.
Yeah.
Which was, I know they were good. That was my best.
What do you think? Do you know when you say, when you say you lost them first, were they your first 5 bouts?
No, so my first 5 were at Strelly.
Okay.
And I think I won 2 or 3 out of 5. And then I went to Phoenix, and I lost all 5 at Phoenix.
But do you know your mindset of losing all 5? You still carried on.
Yeah.
Like most people, I think even losing a couple, it goes to show that you've got something that you actually want to pursue.
Yeah.
Because it's asking something from you. Would you?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, a few of them anyway. Probably 2 out of 5 I should have won anyway. Going to their gardens and not getting the decision, but I knew it was way better than them losses anyway. Knew what I had, so yeah.
Did you kind of know what you needed to go back and work on, sort of thing?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and the training. This is no disrespect to that club at all, because I mean, Carl Front's come out of there, so you can't be bad. It can't be bad, but it just weren't for me. Going back to the rough and tough, that's the gyms I kind of like, and that wasn't like that.
Yeah.
So
And so like after So after then, where was it? So how old are you? How old are you at that 5 losses age? Are you like 30? Oh, you're 15.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think, I must have been 14 or 15. I think I moved to Venice. So yeah, I must have been probably from 13, 14, 15, probably something like that.
And it sounds like your family are like proper supportive. You're more.
Oh yeah, 100%.
All your family are always.
Yeah, all of them. So even now, where we are now, they come to all my fights, and my mum and dad used to, take me to boxing after they've been to work and that all day.
Oh really?
Traipsing me about to the boxing gyms and
Yeah.
up and down the country to fight and stuff. So
Is it good seeing your mum and dad? Do you know when you come out, or do you know when you're coming out of a fight? Is it just tunnel vision the fight?
it's kind of tunnel vision, yeah. But afterwards, I've got videos of it on my phone. My mum's just straight there. She's the first person ringside to come and see me, bless her. So yeah, and my dad as well. He's always massive support. But yeah. So them two big supporters, which is good.
Well, your dad knows what it takes, don't he? 'Cause he's been in the ring, so
Yeah,
he knows
100%.
exactly what you're probably going through and what you're thinking. And
Yeah,
that sort of
exactly.
stuff.
Yeah, 100%. And even as a kid, he was the one pushing me. He was the one who got me in the gym at the start, and he's always been into his fitness and stuff. So he come running with me and the amateurs, and he don't really do much with me now. But it's different, isn't it? But yeah, back then he'd be pushing me to go running with him. And in lockdown, we was doing half marathons together.
Was you really?
Yeah.
Just one day I'm going to do half
Yeah,
marathon.
just doing half marathons.
So he's not. He knows he can run a half marathon
Yeah.
just like that. Fair play.
Yeah,
So that's something to look up to.
yeah, 100%.
So-
Yeah, it was a soldier as well back in the day.
Oh, okay. So he's
So-
got that mentality of
Yeah, 100%.
let's just keep going and going.
Yeah,
no matter what.
someone to look up to for sure. Hardworking man.
Instills a good work ethic in you.
Yeah, 100%.
And so your amateur career, what was? It's a very weird time. Like, I don't know, say weird, but it's a very scary time for somebody who's just starting boxing. You know, when you get hit in the face. Can you remember the first time you got hit in the face or a bad hit? You kind of like, oh,
No, not
you
really.
can't remember it.
No.
You never got them.
No, well, I think I did. Yeah, so, but not really. I don't even remember the first time I really got beat up in sparring either, or fight. But I think that I did have a bad one, which was at Strelly. That was my last fight for Strelly. The lad had 16-1-13. So that was a good record, and it was only my fifth fight.
Yeah.
And it was in a box cut. But then it's changed now. But then the categories were open. So if you were that weight and that age, you were fighting. And he was from like Bradford, where 100, I think. And yeah, he went in and beat me up for 3 rounds.
Okay.
Yeah.
So and that was kind of like wow. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Sure.
I didn't even feel too bad about it. Obviously, I was disappointed, but bloody hell, like, if you put me and this lad together, he looks about 2 years older and about 10 kilo heavier. So
It's like the old football stories. Do you know when you're playing again, they're not 16 and they're like 25 and because they're absolutely huge and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, so,
Yeah.
oh well.
Yeah,
it
and
is.
what do you know? Going back to again, in the amateurs bit, what was your diet like then? Because you're only a young lad. Are you thinking about your diet?
Oh no, diet was terrible. So me and my friend Chopper, we actually have a laugh about this all the time. So we was both boxing together in the championships and we sat next to each other, and he's lost all this weight and he's dead on it with his nutrition. He's looked over, he's like, "What are you eating?" And I was like, "Just Tesco meal deal." Just a load of chocolate. No, my diet was terrible.
Yeah.
This is what my mum and dad made me, but
Yeah.
not now. It's changed massively.
I was gonna say so because you're not focused on that unless you have like somebody behind you, like your parents saying,
yeah.
"Do eat this, do that," or somebody you don't really focus on that. It's kind of like you say, chocolate sweets.
Yeah.
Then that you can, but it powered you. So
Oh yeah,
it was good
exactly.
for you.
You're a kid. You got to enjoy your childhood, don't you?
Definitely. And so then after the amateur career, you went pro.
Yeah.
So what was is that a hard decision for a boxer, or when does an amateur boxer, make that decision to go pro?
So I've always set goals. So when I went back to when I was at Ortonal Boys, my goal was just to fight. That was it. So then I didn't know nothing about boxing, so I didn't even know it was possible. I thought every fight was a big thing. So then I had that, and then I was like, "Oh, I've done this goal," and then set other little goals, and then I always said I want to have my debut at 20. And then turn pro. I got the opportunity to turn pro at 19 with Scott Kalo, and then so I turned over, and then I was actually gonna box a week after my 20th birthday, and then that fell through just due to medical reasons or whatever. And then I ended up boxing in November. So yeah, I was 20, so I got that goal. So yeah,
That one's ticked off.
yeah, it's been tough.
And what? So what did you sit down with your mum, your parents, and your support group and say? I'm going pro, or was it just I'm going pro?
It was just I just wanted to.
Yeah.
That was it. I just knew I wanted to. I spoke to my old amateur coach, and yeah, he agreed with me. And then Scott came down, signed the contract. So yeah, done all the interviews and stuff, and then yeah, here we are.
I was gonna say, how do you turn pro? So, do you have to go through medicals? Does your trainer just come up and say, I think you're good enough for pro level? Is it you chatting to your trainer saying that's what I want to do? Or
Yeah, so
yeah,
you have that talk with your trainer, see if you're ready. Because I spoke to people as well before that want to go pro, and they've had like 5 amateur fights. I'm like, let's just steady on. But yeah, you have that conversation, and then you find a manager. So it's just Scott Kahler, really good manager. So yeah, I had that conversation with him, and he had a look at me. He thought, yeah, and then you have to have medicals, and then you go for an interview. So the board can just say no.
what just for
Yeah, they
just
could.
for any reason?
Yeah, you can just say no, not enough experience, or no, you're not ready, or they can have to come and do a gym assessment.
I thought that I've heard about the gym assessment.
Yeah.
That's kind of where you just do it. What is it? Is it sparring?
I think it's a spot. I don't know. I didn't have that.
Yeah.
But as long as you've had an amateur career, that's what they want. They don't want someone who's had a few fights to want to have a career, which is the best way, really.
Yeah, because you want to keep the sport professional.
Yeah.
Because then anybody would.
Anyone turn pro, and then
Yeah, like someone from the pub. I want to go pro team.
Yeah,
like,
literally,
get your license,
yeah,
and
then
then
you've got no sport, then, have you?
that's it. Yeah, that's it.
They've got to be levels,
And it's got to be serious, definitely. Yeah.
So, yeah.
So your first ring walk, when you just turned 20, you ticked that goal off.
Yeah.
What was going through your head?
Oh my god, I've never been so nervous. Honestly, the whole amateur fight, I was never nervous at all. And then this one, even like leading up to it, I was like, nah, I'm not nervous. It's just another fight. And then I got there, and oh my god, I was a bag of nerves. I was like, I can't believe this. Like, this is actually happening.
Yeah.
I was buzzing. And then, yeah, I made that ring walk. As soon as I started walking out, I was like, what have I got myself into here? I couldn't believe it. But no.
And how did it change? So, like, how did training, or did the mentality just switch? Because obviously now you're doing it professionally. This is like your livelihood. This is what you want. Aspirations, I can imagine, to be the best you can possibly
Yeah.
be. So, is it kind of like just something? Is the feeling actually what I'm trying to get to? Is the feeling of walking out as a pro the same as an amateur?
No, it was different. But to be honest with you, I didn't change too much with training. So I was still with my amateur gym. I had my debut with my amateur gym. Training didn't change too much, other than my diet got a bit better, and I'd started training strength and conditioning. Started running a bit more. But in terms of boxing, I didn't change much. So I went out there and I just kind of boxed like an amateur. And yeah, I got a draw on my debut. Yeah, in the world. Honestly, I felt like I lost to me. That did.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was an awful feeling.
Yeah.
But yeah. So really, looking back, I should have changed more than what I did. I was thinking, I'm a good boxer anyway. But yeah.
When you say you box like an amateur, I've heard that so many times for different people saying amateur boxing is different to
It's like
professional.
a different sport. Yeah.
Okay.
honestly.
And what is it? Is it footwork? Is it just the people that you fight professionally are more like take it more seriously, or
So
what?
So you've got, really, it's like amateur's like a point scoring system. So it's not about how much damage you do as such. It's about, I don't know, if I land 4 shots that are okay, but the other lands 2, I'm winning. But the good shots, but I'm winning them because I've won got the 4 shots. But amateur boxing isn't really like that. It's completely different. You're in there to hurt each other. Right? It's not a game. You know what I mean? Like, it's serious. And you got 8-ounce gloves is what I box in, because I'm 10 stone. So yeah, 8-ounce gloves, which is nothing.
I was about to say, yeah.
It's like being hit by a fucking train.
I'm gonna say,
Yeah. These the lads. So I only had 2 amateurs as a senior. So one was I was 18, and the other lad was 18 anyway. So, and then the other one I was 19, and the lad was 26.
Oh, wow, so they can literally be it done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I suppose that is
Yeah,
that.
when I turn pro, that's it. I mean, you just open, aren't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
The next lad I'm fighting, I think, is 32.
Okay.
So, but yeah, that went in with this lad, and it was like a boy next to a man, honestly.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I still went in there and boxed all right. But I was just trying to box like an amateur. Didn't train like any different, really. But
So when you came out your first draw, your first professional fight that you drew, what was it kind of like? You said, did you feel happy about the result?
no.
So what did you want to like? Did you immediately know what you needed to do to change and become better?
Yeah. and unfortunately that was move club.
Okay.
Unfortunately, and that was quite a bit like an hard thing to do really, because the two coaches at Bennett's have been there for me for ages. You know what I mean? They like played a big part of my life, not only in boxing, outside of boxing. So to leave that gym, that was quite hard to do, really. But it's bettered me, and I think I'm sure them two would look back, and I'm sure they know that as well. But yeah, that was a hard thing to do, and I knew just things had to change. But no, that draw was the hardest thing I've ever done in my boxing career. That was a horrible time.
And did that come? Do they support you still to this day? The club that you left?
Yeah,
Are they all
100%.
good?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, we're yeah, I still speak to him. I don't pop down as much as I should. I should pop down more, but I'm just busy with training. I still message my coach now and again, my old coach, Kev, and Steve. Still see Steve's son. He boxes as well, very good boxer. Still get some rounds in with him. But yeah, no, I think they're both supportive.
And after, so when you switched into the new trainer, where was that? Where did you what did somebody say you need to come here? Did you get?
Yeah, so it was kind of
How was that
a
process?
conversation with my dad again, really. So everything I just said to him, I was like, something not right here. And then me and my manager was speaking, and he agreed. My manager like is that's what you want from a manager. Is so open and honest. If he thought I was doing the wrong thing, he'd say. So he rang me, and I was just saying, look, I really need some more sparring, and I need to be training like a professional because I don't think I am. And then he's agreed. Nathan, who's my coach now, he just kind of came up in conversation because I think he lost his debut. I think that's how that conversation come about, and was just speaking about him because he went on to have a good career. And I was thinking, if he's been through the kind of the same thing as me, he's going to know where I'm at. So I just said to my manager, I said, what's that, Nathan like? He said, oh yeah, that could work. So got in contact with him, and then yeah, here we are. Not looked back since. It's been really good.
So it's elevated your training because didn't you after that you went on to is it 3 wins after that?
Yeah, I had 3 wins after that, and then I lost my last one. Yeah,
Buzzing. Literally,
yeah,
I bet you was,
yeah.
this is working. This
It
is
couldn't have gone any better, really. In the last my 3 wins, they were against like good durable opponents as well, and no pushovers. And yeah, I've got the 3 wins. So
I don't think any opponent really is a pushover. You're both going in there to have a fight.
yeah,
Yeah,
we're both in there to do a job.
you are literally.
Yeah.
So I think when people say that and then the other fighter wins. I think that happened with Pacquiao, didn't it?
Yeah,
Wasn't it a teacher or something that gave him a really good?
can't remember.
There was a fight with there was a fight somewhere. There was a teacher and everyone was writing him off. Oh, it's journeyman, that sort of thing.
Yeah,
And then I forgot what the result of it was, but it was really close, and nobody expects that sort of.
yeah,
So
I hate that.
yeah.
So I lost my last one,
Mm.
and yeah, I mean on paper he's probably not the best boxer, but it's well, I say that, but he's actually got a good record because all he does is I wouldn't even call him a journeyman. I'd say he's an away fighter, so he would just take fights not in his hometown pretty much.
Okay.
So he's just less likely to get a decision. But he's a very good boxer. I mean, I boxed him when he's 50th fight, and I think he'd still won about 10.
50th professional fight.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
So-
so he's got loads of experience plus his amateur career as well.
Yeah, and I'm sure he had 50 as an amateur as well. So because I sure remember him saying he had about 100 fights. So
That's just crazy. That
yeah,
many
crazy, isn't it?
fights.
That was my first 6-rounder as well against a lad like that.
How did you feel?
Yeah, all right,
Yeah.
Apart from I must have got caught quite early because I went back in the second round, and I said to him, I was like, to my coach, I said, that's the last round into it. He was like, sorry mate, but that's only the second.
So wow. So
I must have got caught.
yeah.
But I felt all right, and I couldn't have been any more confident going into that fight. There was nothing to do with my mind. I think I didn't have the best performance, 100%, but I think a mistake on my half was kind of looking at what he was gonna do and not so much what I was gonna do, if that makes sense. So I was going in there and he boxed completely different to how I was expecting, and then in my head I was like, well, this ain't meant to happen. So I think I didn't.
So you're in with too much of a fine-tuned game plan, and it's hard to kind of come off that when somebody surprises you.
Yeah.
And you're kind of like, well, you don't usually.
Well,
Yeah,
what
well,
you train for? Yeah.
I go back to when your first draw again. What was? Do you think psychology has a lot to do with boxing? Because when I see boxers, they're the biggest characters. They're
Yeah.
amazing. They're laughs. They pick you up and all that. But boxing, I've said it before. I feel like boxing is quite a lonely sport because you've got to run. You've got to come to the gym when you're tired. there's so many stuff that goes into it.
Yeah.
Boxing isn't just a glamorous belt that you lift up.
Yeah,
I realize that
yeah.
belt.
People see the pictures in the ring and what.
Yeah. Do you think it has a lot to do with it, like the psychological side of all of it?
Yeah, 100%. Because after that, I said to myself, I was like, that is not happening again. 100%. That is that feeling. I'm never gonna feel like that ever again. Yeah, I knew I was way better than that. I knew I can be way better than that. Stronger, fitter, better boxer. And I've proved that ever since. So yeah, 100%. I think a lot of it is mental. I think if you're going in there doubting yourself, thinking, "Oh, I don't know if I'm going to beat this lad," the chances are you're probably not going to beat him. I think you've got to go in there strong and
You got to go in there and say, "I'm gonna win,"
yeah,
and that's it. Because
yeah.
if
You
you got
can
any,
no doubt. Yeah,
because if you got any doubt, that's it. You kind of beat yourself before you.
yeah,
Yeah,
100%. And I don't feel like I've ever been like that really. Even for my debut, like all I could think about was just getting my hand raised. I was I didn't really think. I don't even know if I thought about the fight. I think I was just thinking, yeah, what am I gonna do afterwards? I'm just gonna have my hand raised. I'm gonna be absolutely buzzing. I'm gonna be an undefeated professional boxer, but which I was. Still wasn't an
Yeah,
undefeated
yeah, you
professional
didn't
boxer,
lose. Yeah.
but yeah, yeah, that was the feeling that I had in my mind.
And is it almost? Do you think that at the time you was thinking too far into it? So instead of thinking, right, I suppose it's easy for me to say that, but do you know when you're going into your first fight, thinking about the end goal rather than the steps I'm taking to the ring and the things I'm
Yeah,
concentrating on, or
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, probably, yeah, probably. I think I was just buzzing to see.
yeah, how good is that?
Yeah,
I can imagine.
yeah. So the thing is,
You say you're a professional boxer, like
yeah,
it's
exactly.
a pretty cool title, and a lot of work has gone into that to even get to that stage.
Yeah, 100%. Like, people don't see what we put into it, and even that, like, I did train. Like I was saying about the training, it's not like I didn't train because I did. I was super disciplined. Like that was one thing about me is like, I'm really disciplined, and that didn't play a part of it. It was just a bad performance on my half. So.
Sometimes it's not always going to work. Some nights won't just work as good as you want them to, I suppose.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
that's when you go to the drawing board, you come back and you improve.
Yeah, just
So
reevaluate.
That's it. That's it. Because I'm talking about your diet actually again. So we've gone from Tesco meal deals.
Let's give you deals.
So what are we looking at now?
So I've got a nutritionist now.
Yeah.
Drake Torian at the Aerobic Advantage, and he is great. Honestly, unbelievable. I have him for all my training camp. Well, I say all my. Meals today. So
yeah, let's have
so,
a go.
yeah,
What's a typical day?
yeah. So today I woke up 8 o'clock. I had oats with like a bit of protein powder, milk, and a few other bits and bobs, and then a jam bagel after training. So I trained strength and conditioning. That was at 9:30 till 10. Till 11. Sorry, and then so jam bagel after that, and then just a bit of chicken rice packed full of veg. What else? What else have I got today? I've got yogurt and fruit. That's at 4, and then salmon, potatoes, lots of carbs, high carb, and then some more yogurt tonight. But I think that's about 2,600 calories. I think roughly. I can't remember how many grams of protein. A lot, but yeah, lots of carbs. People think carbs are the killer, but I'm making weight while eating plenty of carbs.
Well, I can imagine you burn a lot off in all the sessions that you do.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's it.
And you're training alongside that. So does your nutritionist like sit down and look at what you're doing in training and say, right, this is how we fuel it, so it's much more precise for you?
Yeah, 100%.
Like scientific-y sort
Yeah,
of.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, sometimes I'll have like meetings with him. I feel like I'm having a science lesson. Like, he'll be telling me why we're eating this amount of fiber, and I'm thinking, yeah, son. I'm thinking, yeah, I'll just cook it and eat it. But but yeah, he knows what I'm like. Yeah, and then the food is good as well. It's not like it's not bad food. People think, oh, what I'm eating is fish and a rice cake, but
Remember that guy?
yeah. But no, that's not the case.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good food, and yeah, all whole foods, no processed stuff really. So yeah.
Do you feel like you're eating more than you used to?
Yeah, I actually eat loads.
I'm going to say, because people think that losing weight, or not even losing weight, like fueling your body right, it's eating, like you said, fish and a rice cake.
Yeah,
It isn't. It's kind of like more less calorie foods, but the more fibrous foods. And
Yeah,
things like that.
exactly.
So-
Yeah, so I actually do like thinking about it. It is quite a lot of food that I eat, but you've also got to think if I don't know, say a footballer that they've got a meal plan. if their meal plan isn't that good, all right, they're gonna have a bad game of football. Or not even that, in training, they're gonna have a bad training day. But my bad training day is me getting beat up. It's me potentially getting knocked out. Do you know what I mean? So I've got to feel my body.
Yeah, you need to do it correctly. Yeah, actually, that's true. You don't want. What would you rather have, a football hit you in the leg, or
Yeah,
a bad
or
running day
big overhand right coming
in because you might be feeling not as a bit more
yeah, a bit
serious than
sluggish, yeah,
than usually would.
fatigued and
Yeah,
not
yeah.
recovering. That's another big thing. Like nutrition's got a big part in your recovery. I think if you're not eating right, you ain't recovering right either.
Do you do anything other than eating right for recovery? So do you do like ice bath, sauna, that sort of stuff?
Not massively. I do have a physio, Rayan Holistic Health. He sponsors me, and I get 2 a month with him. Sports massage, and I do that. And every time I see him, he goes, "You stretching, aren't you?" And I go, "Yeah, of course I am, mate." Oh, but I'm not. And he'll talk me through a load of stretches. He'll be like, "This is what you need to do after sessions." So I go, "Yeah, sound. I'll do that." And I never do.
No.
And I'm sure he'll be listening to this as well. But
Yeah, you do your stretches.
yeah, I do.
You do your
all the
stretches.
time. Do them all the time. But other than that, no, not a lot really. I probably should. I should do some more.
Yeah, I think I've seen a lot of people going in cold baths and things like that for inflammation and all
Yeah.
that sort of stuff. I don't
It's
really.
crazy as well.
Yeah.
The only time I really do it is I do actually before most fights is about 2 days before. I will do it, go in the sauna and the steam room and then the ice bath. But
Not all the time.
no, I hate it. That's the other thing as well. I just don't enjoy it.
I think that's what we need to get you doing now. Like we need a challenge for Spencer for what 2 months.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a challenge. I would actually do it, but
Let's set it. Today. Today's the challenge.
it's on
Let's go.
camera as well.
Yeah. Today's the challenge. Today's the one. So next. So what's next for you? What do you want to achieve? Obviously. Well, actually, let's talk about your next fight. Actually,
Yeah.
first of all,
All
next.
right. Yeah.
So who is your next opponent then?
I think his name is Stefan Vincent. He calls himself the Wasp, but he seems like a decent fighter. I've seen little bits of him, only little bits. Like I was saying before, I got too fixated on what he was going to do. I literally looked at him, yeah, he's an orthodox, that will do. And then my managers matched it all. So yeah, so that's at Rushcliffe Arena in Nottingham. I've had my last few fights there. It's always good. Always get a good crowd there. So yeah, that's the next one.
And how do people get tickets if they want to come and see you and stuff?
Just drop me a message on Instagram, and I can drop the tickets off.
And okay. So you drop the tickets off to them, and then, or they can pick them up or something.
Yeah, or that. Yeah, or come here and I can drop them off here, or wherever. I don't mind dropping them off, to be honest.
Yeah,
it gives me a chance to see people before. So
that's nice. That is, yeah. And also, I got one more question about your strength training.
Yeah,
has that changed? Because does a boxer want to put muscle on? Or is it fast twitch muscle rather than size muscle?
So, yeah, I guess like kind of fast twitch muscle. It's a lot of power, like explosive power, because boxing is kind of like a sprint. It's not all one pace really, and the one pace fights are so boring to watch as well. But it's not really like that. It's kind of a lot of explosive movements, a lot of power. So yeah, we do actually do quite a lot of weights. So even this morning, I was like deadlifting 100 kg.
Okay.
And that will go up before my training camp. Before the end of my training camp. I still got 5 weeks.
Yeah,
that 100% go up. So yeah, I actually do quite a bit, and it's crazy as well because before, so I trained with Chopper PT.
Yeah,
and he before I was. It's absolutely mental.
Yeah, that would be awesome to see that. And was it hard to pull that weight down? Because a lot of people struggle with. Was it hard, or was it just something natural?
Not really.
So you find your natural boxing weight then?
Yeah, so I'll probably this fight. I was walking around afterwards, probably about 10 stone 10, and that was heavy for me. That's really heavy.
What's that in kilos? I'm a kilo. Do you know? So I'll put you on the spot here.
We can work it out because at the minute I'm about 10 stone 7 or 10 stone 8, and I'm 67 kilos.
Okay. So yeah, around that.
Probably like 68 kilos, isn't it, roughly? We'll call it that. Yeah, and I box at 63.5 kilos.
Okay.
But I'll probably usually only walk around at 66 kilos anyway.
Yeah.
It's just about it was Christmas and stuff. After my last, I thought I had a week off, and then I come back training and didn't really do much, and then just had like pretty much nearly 2 weeks off, but it wasn't quite. So I was a little bit heavier. but usually I've got like 6 pounds to lose, which is nothing.
No, it's easy.
Yeah, easy.
Yeah.
Especially now I've got a nutritionist and I've got a strength coach, and I work hard. So when I'm here, like I'm there to work. So yeah.
What's a typical training week for you then, as a professional boxer?
Monday boxing here, Tuesday strength and conditioning, Wednesday boxing, usually pads or sparring. Thursday running and hill sprints. Friday is my rest day. Saturday I will do strength and conditioning again. Sunday pads or sparring.
So it's literally near enough 6 days a week.
Yeah,
You get one day.
Yeah, I get one day. You got one day, and then even on the Sunday I'll train twice on a Sunday. I'll run in the evening. So yeah, so that's in training camp. So yeah, literally got one day a week.
That's that's. I mean, again, a lot of people out there, they look at the belts and they just don't realise.
Yeah, no, they
Just
don't.
honestly,
Yeah,
because the amount of blood, sweat, and tears you've literally had to go through to
Yeah.
get to this point now.
yeah, exactly, and that's it. And even like on my rest days when I'm meant to be resting, and in between sessions or whatnot on a Saturday, I've still got to do stuff to do with boxing. I've still got to drop the tickets off, promote myself. I've still got to post stuff on social media to get people to buy tickets, which is a big thing. And then I've still got to do all my food and just sorting stuff out for training. And yeah, the whole house boxing. My missus must hate me.
I'm gonna say, do you ever see her? Do you ever get to see her much? Schedule time in.
She must like it, I reckon.
Actually, I didn't think of it that way. What do you think to the promotional side of it all? Do you think it's draining? Do you know,
Yeah,
having to create social ads, having to get people interested, deliver tickets, because
Yeah,
you've
big
got to train and eat and think about your opponent.
And then at the end of the day, I've got to think about putting a post on social media. Yeah. It's so draining.
I can imagine.
It does my head in, to be fair. Sometimes I just want to box, that's it. But no, it's got to happen. It's got to be done. Sometimes I actually don't mind it. I look at stuff and I'm like, oh, that's quite cool. And but other times you get you kind of get sucked into looking at your likes, don't you? You think, bloody hell, is that it?
Yeah.
And but it's got to be done because ticket sales. If I don't sell tickets, I don't fight. So
Have you got like a quota you've got to hit?
yeah, roughly. So the way tickets work is so say I can't remember where my opponent's coming from. So say it's Barnsley. I've got to pay for him to come to Barnsley. I've got to pay for his all his corner and stuff, for his coaches and that. And then he's gonna want paying for the fight as well.
Seriously?
Yeah, so I'll have to pay all that, and then you've got to pay a house fee, which is for like the venue, my manager putting on the show and stuff like that. And then you've got to pay your manager's fee. My coach, I'll have to pay my coach and everything like that. You loads to pay for.
Wow.
So tickets, you don't sell tickets, you don't fight really.
Oh man, I genuinely did not have a clue, because when you think of professional boxer, people think, oh, you'll fight, that's it. You turn up, fight, go home, you earn your money.
Yeah,
you pay
that's it.
10% to a coach and it's done. You actually literally have to. I didn't realise you had to pay for.
Yeah.
No, yeah, there will be some people like away fighting then, because
Yeah.
they haven't really got. They've got to sell tickets. Do they have to match the
No,
sales?
they don't. Nothing. They could turn up and sell no tickets.
You're joking me.
No.
So no wonder the people like away fighting, because they've got.
They got loads of money. They don't have to work. So yeah, I'm offering to. Bear in mind, I work a full-time job as well.
You work a full-time job?
Yeah, I work 40 hours a week.
You're joking?
Yeah.
So you're a professional boxer, and I thought it was just professional boxing.
No.
Oh my god.
Yeah, still work
Wow.
full time.
Yeah.
And then you got the away fight coming in and not having to do no work. Bear in mind, he's got to train and everything. But they've got no work coming in. They're not really too bothered if they win or lose. Sometimes a lot of them do come to win. Some of them they're not too bothered. So yeah, it's
Wow.
and then they've got no pressure on the tickets. So that's the other thing. With my debut, I sold a load of tickets for my debut. Everyone does. So yeah, I had all that pressure of I'd sold 100 tickets, so I had 100 people just there to watch me, and then everyone else as well. So you put a lot of pressure on yourself. And the tickets are £55, and people think I get £55 for a ticket. And honestly, no, I don't. I wish I did, but not even close. I won't tell you.
No.
But no, not even remotely close.
That's great. I literally, genuinely did not have a clue that you have to sort all that out. I thought it was like I was ignorant, I suppose. I thought it was because you turn pro, that kind of guarantees you some kind of you've got safety, you can train all the time, and then you can you just get paid, you turn up.
Yeah,
Wow, that's absolutely.
But that's just the way professional boxing is on small horse shows. All of them, even some of the big shows, you see some matchroom fighters that's still on ticket deals.
I've seen that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've still seen some of the bigger fighters.
But,
some.
Yeah, so that's nothing to do with my manager. There's more people come in and be like, "Oh, you need to get a new manager," because that is not the case at all. Because there's plenty of coaches, managers out there that are awful. And no, that's just the way boxing is. Unfortunately, it will always be that way.
What do you do for a job then in your full time?
I paint cars. I do car bodywork. So yeah, do that 4 hours a week.
Wow,
And training even.
that's absolutely wow. Fair play. You've got a lot going on in your plate, haven't it?
Yeah.
What's the biggest? What would you say the biggest? The hardest thing you've been through in boxing has been for you? What was it?
It was definitely getting a draw on that debut, but you know, luckily I got good people around me.
Yeah. Did you kind of like struggle a little bit after that?
Yeah, I did. I remember. Yeah, the next day, I felt awful, and then for weeks and weeks, I just felt awful. When we'd been in the back room afterwards, I was just crying, and I had my friend Chopper. He was there, and he was just like, "It's not a loss, but yeah, it's just the way it felt." Luckily, I've got good family around me, good friends, my girlfriend, and everyone. They all supported me massively. So yeah, it was an horrible time, really. But you know, that was where it was meant to be. So
Well,
yeah.
it's the bad times will make you have to go through. If it's all perfect, then
Yeah, 100%.
why would you want it to be like that?
Yeah,
Because then
exactly.
when if somebody comes to look at you for advice, if you get to attend a show or something, like you're a coach one day for somebody,
Yeah.
you see somebody go through that, you know exactly like
Yeah,
that happened to you as well.
Yeah, I can assist and help.
You can
So,
help them.
like I was saying with my coach now, so Nathan, he lost his debut. So you know, we've had kind of like a similar kind of story. So he's always been there to help me. So
Well, you seem super positive about it all.
yeah,
I mean,
100%.
I still can't believe you got a full time job. You're a pro boxer. It's like 2 careers.
Yeah, literally, it is. It's like having 2 jobs. So
And then you've got to still be with the partner as well.
Yeah,
You've got to still deliver everything.
yeah,
40-hour weeks. Well, fair play to you. That's real work. That is real work.
100%. So yeah, my mind, I can't lose really. I can't lose.
No. And what advice would you give to anybody who's in boxing right now, maybe amateur, or might have been through a similar thing for you, starting their professional career and they're feeling a bit naff? They might not have the same support system you had. What advice would you give to them?
Find a good manager, someone who's not going to rip you off, someone who's going to look after you. And I know I've mentioned him a few times now, but I'm gonna mention Scott Cayley because he can't do enough for me. And every boxer, I've never ever heard anyone speak a bad word on him. So find a good manager. If it's not Scott, make sure it's someone as good as him. So yeah, that's the first thing. 100%. Don't rush into it. There's no need to rush because it will always be there. If it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. Train hard because it is a tough game. It is tough. It's not forgiving. And these are grown men that are going in there to it. Yeah, there's no point scoring. So yeah, just train hard, be fit, be strong, be super strong. I say be really strong, be as fit as you can, be as strong as you can, and make sure people aren't there to rob you pretty much.
And we're just going to say it again. So March the 22nd is your next fight at Rushcliffe Arena. And if people want to buy tickets from you, what is your Instagram name and things like that?
SB_Binksy, BINXE. So yeah, that's hard to get me.
And then just drop me a message and we'll get
drop me a message. Yeah, drop me a message or a comment on my post or anything like that, and
or support you.
Yeah,
as your journey.
100%.
What is actually? That's one last thing. What's the dream in boxing?
For well, my manager Scott, he'll be able to sort that for me. Definitely, if we keep going the way that we're going, because we're improving, and yeah, that's the goal. And then once I've done that, then we can start looking at some bigger goals. But that's short term. That is really what I want. So hopefully, 2025 or maybe start of 2026. Fingers crossed.
Not hopefully. When?
Yeah, not
when.
Not if. It's a when.
It's when.
When it happens. Yeah.
Definitely. Well, thanks so much for coming on
Thank you for having me.
and appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you very much. Really appreciate it.